morning. We continue with our today's Tuesday Entrepreneurship Day, where we get to look at how to venture into the marketplace and how to get to see how to trade and, of course, get some money done. And from Barry's, of course, segment, we right away come in, and today I've got some people from Kenya Students Christian Fellowship, that is KSCF. Famously known since the 1959s, yes?
You're right.
Let me begin probably from you to introduce yourself. Tell us who you are and what you do at KSCSF.
Well, my name is Eric Lumosi.
Yes.
I am the chairman of the Kenya Student Christian Fellowship, Nairobi County.
All right. Yeah, let's go right to you.
I am Judith Ogweno, a chaplain at State House Girls, and since the organization works with schools, we are the people on the ground.
All right.
My name is Eric Muriongi. I'm the school facilitator in KSCF Nairobi County.
Great, it's nice to have you on board this morning.
Thank you.
It's great. I want us to have first probably to begin with you, Mr. Chairman. You have been in this for some time now, I believe so.
Sure.
When young people rather, let me just, because you're so much based with the high schoolers.
Yeah.
When probably they're in high school, what brought the urge to bring in mentorship for them?
Yeah, actually, KSCF is a body that takes care of the high scholars and middle level colleges, and these are young people that are looking forth to become, and therefore many of them need a lot of mentorship so that they know the direction they are supposed to venture into, put a lot of their effort, so that eventually they become a people of substance in the society. Without the mentorship, the support that they need, it will be like many people that have even finished school and they are not very clear about what they are, what they are supposed to do, probably a junk of many trades, but a master of none, and therefore it's not very profound. Therefore now this mentorship is meant to support the young people, especially to have a direction which will help them in the future.
Yes, and of course, let me go straight to you, Dr. Judith Ogweno. Yes. You are a high school teacher,
yes,
and that is a principal.
No. The school chaplain.
The school chaplain,
Head of Department English.
Department of English. All right, that's so. I need to know my English well. Anyway, when young people, or rather the students, once they leave high school, oftentimes the information that you have will either lead you the right way or rather lead you the wrong way.
Yes.
And then in terms of like, what do you want to do after high school, in terms of the entrepreneurship skills, what some of the things that you'd advise?
That I'd advise the youth to do?
Yes, it's in terms of entrepreneurial skills, mentorship, when they're launching out of high school.
Oh, that's interesting, because I was listening to the lady who came before us, talking about the tech opportunities in technology. And I've seen students do that. I've seen those who sell their art, or spoken word, music. In fact, recently I was watching another television station, and I'm thinking, that's a girl I saw through high school. She's there doing activist work, but they also paid at the end of the day when they do this work. I have some who do beadwork. Others are doing, what do you call this, sewing, tailoring, but at high levels, providing, and some just provide information. Others also come back and give input back to the school, but they're given some, we call it facilitation or transport. At the end of the day, they're making something they can live with. But a number of them, I find them getting into groups and starting something that works for them. And majority, because they're techno-savvy, they find that very comfortable.
The gadgets.
So I believe the principles that we put in them when they're in school, because unless you have principles to work with, anything passes. That is what stabilizes them. And once their character and morals are facing a certain way with proper mentorship, they always find a way to survive. Especially as they're in college, you'll find they're paying fees, doing whatever they are doing.
Probably just to come to you, the coordinator of Nairobi, yes. What are some of the things that you're looking at when you look at young people and the way to venture into the marketplace? Once they're done with their high schools, then they're venturing into university. Some of the things that probably you look at and really consider.
I think first thing, most of the young people need to know work ethics outside there. They need to know what is supposed to be done and how it shouldn't be done. Because we agree that if I'm out there without knowledge, I'm out there without knowing what exactly should be done, I might miss it. And again, you realize that work ethics revolves around a lot of things in different professionals and grounds of work. But all of them combined together, personally wish them to have values, because now that's what will sustain you in any venture outside there. Values that are going to promote your character, values that are going to promote how you work every single day. Because if they don't have the values, they might not be effective, even if they have a long list of work ethics in any company. So values are very key, according to me.
You have mentioned two things about knowledge and character. You see, when you're launching out into the marketplace, there's something that we usually say about knowledge is power and it liberates. Do you think that we have enough knowledge with the people that we're dealing with today in the marketplace?
We have, by the way, we have. There are people who are very, very loaded with good information. What is happening is that our access to them is quite limited, or rather the young people, they are fearful to approach them to get that knowledge. So knowledge is outside there. It's full.
But probably just to come back to you, do you think the CBC by any chance will help improving in terms of the mentorship, in terms of growing them for entrepreneurs?
If it is done the way it is on paper, it's a beautiful program. I was looking at some of the skills they want to pass: creativity, collaboration. That will also enhance the peace we have in the nation. What do we call it? Collaboration, which even involves working with parents. The other day I saw a parent making for one of the children something, using wood. Those aspects of creativity, communication skills, developing the better. The idea that learning to learn. Right now we are learning for jobs. Because we must learn, or I don't know, for schooling, educating, but they are learning because there's a purpose in that learning. When I look at those competencies that are on paper and what it is supposed to translate into, I think that would be the perfect person. But of course, first things first. When you have a perfect thing on paper, even God, before he started creating, had a master plan. This master plan must have everything put in place, and since we are not God, at least try. So if everything is put in place, and all those what are they saying? We see images of children learning under trees. Okay, with the competency-based education, you can, because again, one of the issues there is problem solving.
Yes, definitely.
Problem solving. But if it is done well and the teachers are guided well, I think it will work. I may not go to the former system. My belief is you train people, give them the opportunity, whatever you have on table can work. It's like we are telling the youth, out of nothing, make a business. And they're making nothing out of a business. One will come here, look at us and decides, can I give you new suits? They make one with a patch here. That's a business. So it just depends on what we do with what we are given. So yes, the CBC will work, but we must really face the situation as it is and be ready to critique with open mind, especially the people who are at the top. Let them hear what we are saying on the ground. Let us hear what they are saying. Together, let us help the child.
Probably to look at some of the issues that have been happening probably in high schools, Doctor. Some of the things that have really been emerging, there are fire tragedies that have been happening. And when we look at it, is it like the students are lacking information?
Are they lacking information? They have so much information, but information does not say it's right or wrong. It's all information. So they have information, but what my take is, when you see these tragedies taking place, there's a deeper thing inside. I may have information, but I'm blinded. I can't use it because something inside here is wrong. One of the things I've seen over time, I've taught for the last 26 years. There's a lot of breakage, a lot of the family values that are broken. The society foundations are broken. We bring up children in this foundation hoping that, they're like this table. They will not feel, or they feel. So a child will know it is wrong to ban a school. They even know the parent worked so hard to pay. But there's a bitterness. When there's bitterness as a root in the heart of somebody, it blinds them. And then, of course, there are those who are bent on giving them wrong information. I don't know if there's anything like wrong mentorship, but it
has to be good. It has to be bad,
yes. So there are those who probably have an agenda. Like if I want morality to be corrupted, I just need to create something that will sell, whether it's movies, whatever. And when the children now have that as the moral guiding factor from the internal, then they'll do things that are evil. And basically for me, I take it back to the breaking of the small foundations that we take for granted, including the fact that I don't see, when we were younger, and they really hate when we say that, but we just have to say we're in the society. The issue of greeting an older person, shikamo, maraba, those things helped. So the fact that that doesn't exist, we'll knock each other on the compound.
Yes.
So basically, yes.
When you talk about that thing, let me come to Mr. Eric.
Yes.
When we're talking about mentorship, she has mentioned about something, Salimana, back in the days, how it used to be. What are some of the topics that you discuss, or rather go through with the students once you visit their schools?
Well, you see, as she puts it, there is problem, especially when it comes now to the peer pressure. Because if there is nobody doing anything, they still get some influence from their headsets, and some of it probably from the site, the media sometimes, and especially when it's negative media, and they get involved into it just wanting to practice what they see, and therefore much of it eventually is negative, and it influences them in the wrong direction towards them now reaching a point of even say banning the schools, or even doing some illicit sexual relations, involving themselves in drugs and such like things. So some of the things that we talk about, and especially the topics, includes now how to have positive peer pressure. And this is where now we direct them towards God. So that now through God they are able to come up with proper values, be disciplined, at least citing even examples of some of the people that indulged themselves in the wrong way and eventually ended up bad. They eventually crashed completely, even to the point of death, such like things. So with such kind of examples, they are able to learn, okay, fine, it's for me now to get the correct thing which can help me do live properly in the society.
And from that point, I want to bring you in, Mr. Muriungi. You'll be having an event actually this week.
Yes.
Would you mind to probably look at your camera, invite the people, and tell us what it's all about?
Well, KSF Nairobi County and generally Nairobi, we have a camp designed for the students, high school students. We expect to bring together schools or other students across Nairobi County, and if possible outside, to bring them together at Moi House from date 9 this Friday up to 13 on Tuesday. We'll be camping there for the 4 days to train our students. Basically, it's a whole combined training, starting from spiritual things up to the social life. We are still also handling the academics part of it, and even the career part of it. So we want to bring them together and work with them for 4 days and impact them, give them that knowledge we are talking about, give them that skills that we are talking about, and have profound speakers who have gone through it. Spiritually, academically, socially, they have gone through it. They have overcome. So when students sit down to listen to such people, they get to empower their knowledge. They get even to ask questions, and they get answers. So it's a very profound program for us from Friday to Tuesday.
I see a topic called Global Youth Culture.
Global youth culture, very dynamic topic. You realize that back then, the issues that affected those people in 1990s and back, they were very, very unfamiliar to people who are in 21st century. And there are a lot of things. Those times, technology was out. Today, we have a million of channels of TVs in our set. Those times, we used to have one channel, and we are comfortable with that. So there are a lot of things that have changed.
With great ones.
Exactly. The black and white things. We have gadgets, phone. We used to go for the booth. So there are a lot of things that have changed. Communication. Those times greetings were greetings. Communications were real. Today, my friend, it's something else. So we realize that we need to address these things, because ideally, you look at them, they are affecting them either negatively, which is not a good story to talk about. When you talk about music, it's something that is big. Talk about movies. Those times we had a karori come into our village to do a movie once per month. Today movies are in series, and they are at your disposal anytime. Talk about internet. It's a whole big debate to address. Those are the culture we are talking about.
And when you mentioned that, I want to come back to Mr. Eric. He has mentioned something about the parents' initiatives and what they're supposed to be doing. Do you only deal with students, or do you bring on board the parents?
Like now this, like the camp that we have involves 3 sets of groups. We have got the students who will be having a session on their own. We have now the workers that work with the students, and this includes even the parents. We call them associates. they could be teachers, they could be professionals that are working with this. They have that calling.
Yes.
And therefore, we will also be having some sessions with them. Then we also have got the young people.
During the same duration, 9 to 13?
Exactly.
Right.
Even on the timetable, we have got a session now for the associates together in one place, and they're being supported as well, how to become proper leaders and how to take care of these young people.
Yes,
And then the students themselves alone, they have got their sessions, and they will have the youths now, the KESATs, we call them the KESATs.
Yes,
Those that have just finished school, and they are either in college, they could be at home, they come, and then they will have a session in which now we have got 4 pillars for them. For example, the pillar to do with the social life, entrepreneurship, so that again they are mentored, they are supported towards that direction. Relationship, which is also an issue with them, they are also supported in that line. And some of the challenges that they face generally in life, they are given guidelines and how to overcome some of these challenges.
When you talk about that, I'm prompted to go to Madam Judith about the issue of parents and their way of mentoring young, or rather their children, because we are looking at the marketplace right now where we stand. We're having, as he mentioned, about the issue of the right information or the wrong information that you have, and it will usher you to the next level that you want. Do parents really mentor the youth?
Some do.
Some do.
Parents generally, we, as teachers, we are parents, but some do. But the issue is right now, because of the economic times we are living in, most parents are busy. It's called a rat race.
Right.
Busy trying to make money for these children, hoping that at one time they'll get time to sit down and talk to these children. Unfortunately, we've discovered anything we never really work hard for, we don't value that much. So there are some parents who are doing their best, but majority are being forced by circumstances, and they have to intentionally now start parenting. Otherwise, we will lose many of this generation. So we are partly in schools, we are working with parents. We invite them for, it's just no longer the normal Parents' Day, prize giving day. Nowadays we have Father's Day, Mother's Day, all facilitated, especially under the chaplaincy and under the Christian fraternity and the guidance and counseling, so that we work together with them. So I will not say yes or no, but majority really need help, very desperate.
That's great. You have told us the camp is happening at Moi Girls. You have told it's from 9 to 13.
Yes.
What about the charges?
We are charging 1,800 Kenya shillings. That is 1,800 for the students. We are charging 2,000 for the associate. Those are now the teachers, parents, and those people working closely with us. But that's not the end. We have another unique forum running from date 14th to 17th at Kenya High, bringing together now the chaplains, patrons, Christian teachers, associates, and any other person who would want to minister to students and mentor our students. So that's another forum for them to attend. With 4,000 Kenya shillings, they'll be trained for those 4 days.
There's something probably from your poster I've seen, unmasking the negative effects of betting. I think the chairman should really respond to this. What do you think about the issue of betting in the country?
Yeah, the board in this country did a research at the beginning of this year, January up to March. And in their statistics, they were looking at how much money has been pushed into betting.
Yes.
They realized that about 900 million Kenya shillings that people have just thrown into betting. And they were also looking at how much money have people won, so that again now they can advocate for it, they can jump, they can talk about it everywhere. The only amount that had been won by the few was 9 million Kenya shillings. Now look at the range of the difference. Almost 1 billion, and your guys have only earned 10 million. Now that made the whole big difference, whereby now when you look at some of the things that are happening even in the family, you find that there is deterioration, there are breakages, there are people that are not living together anymore simply because one went into it. There are people that have died because of betting. And this is just because now nothing good, especially to the majority, is happening. People are becoming lazy, they are not going to work because they know we'll just bet and get some few amount of money. And the majority are the ones that are losing. There is one lady who we fellowship in the church, and she was like, I've done it, and I've never won. My sister has done it, She won once, and the rest of this time she's not there. So we are living this thing.
So how do you plan? What was the strategy probably you have laid down to try and address this issue?
We have got an expert, of course, an economic expert that has got even these values at hand.
Right.
And it's a global. He works with a global international company that is working towards the economy in and out of the country, and he'll be giving some details and even some of the negativity that is brought about by betting and gambling, and therefore, if anybody comes there, I'm sure I will get some.
Probably let me come back to you, Mr. Muriungi. When we talk about young people and the skills that are needed in the marketplace,
yes,
it's a broad topic. How can you narrow it down in terms of the things that as young people, once we leave high school or the campus, what's something that we really need as prerequisites?
Right. The first thing that we need that is paramount and key is passion, because any thriving venture in Kenya or even outside Kenya today, it's driven by 90% is passion. So you need, first of all, young people need to understand, do you have the passion? Do I have the passion to do what I'm trying to do? Number two, when you realize that you have the passion towards this, now you need to work with the people who have won it, who have done it. We are not starting something from the blue moon.
Right.
We are starting something that men have started. So these young people can run to somebody and come to you and tell, I want to start this kind of business. I want to start selling my ID. How can I do it effectively? What are the challenges? You benchmark with them.
Yes.
But the benchmarking is also not good because some of us, we have benchmarked, even Kenya itself, we have done a lot of benchmarking, nothing is happening on the ground. So the next item after benchmarking is the real doing it. You need to start from where you are.
Right.
Every business needs the first step. So our young people, they need to know, I have the passion, I have seen people who have done it, approach them. When I get the knowledge and the information, I need to start from somewhere. Yes, they need to do that.
It's a process that you have narrated.
Yes.
From scratch all the way, growing all the way up.
Exactly.
Madam Judith, when you look at the process that he has mentioned, do you think there's something that we need to address in terms of growing young people into becoming who they want to be?
Yes. More of the soft skills, people skills, just how to deal with people. And the other one that was, and is still there, how to handle failure. Yes. Because quite a number, when they try the first time and things don't work, then they give up. So that building the tenacity within, that even if I fail, I will make it. And having examples of people who've done it and done it. If Edison gave up, we'd not have lighting in this studio. Sure. So just telling real stories. And the other thing that we adults must do, let's be real. Mentorship is being real. That the people I mentor must sometimes see me when I'm down and how I come up. Because the picture they might have is, your life is perfect. You never had hard times. There are times we just don't have money. It just found legs and the responsibilities were many. They need to see, how do I handle that? So if those are all put in place, I think we will educate them more than what we get in school, which is just head knowledge. When they come out, they ask, like the other day, a girl asked me a question. When I go home for holiday, how will I keep away from bad company? It looks a very simple question. Really in our days, we were told very simple things. But I looked at this child, told me, my neighbor plays loud music. So that music keeps running in my mind. Around, I don't have, things that look obvious, they're not obvious. So here is my take. Let the adults not assume, just teach. The Bible says train. Training takes time. It takes a process. It takes a relationship. Let us partner and just do our work, not abdicate. Because I may never know how to help a child in detail if I didn't bring them up. So basically, yes.
Well put. Well put. Mr. Eric, you had mentioned about something about peer pressure. I want us to look at it from this angle of like, I have done a business or particular thing I want to begin as a business. Then apparently it fails. Then I'm looking at the people that are really successful. And from my age, there are others. How do we tackle all these issues that are really revolving around peer pressure? And when I look at others, they want me to do this, yet I don't want to do that because I've failed in this particular initial one.
Well, when you get some resource persons that have already done it before, and you sit with them, they will be in a position to give you some guidelines. I remember there is a certain speaker who is a millionaire today. Actually, he said that he was working with a UN company, and he was earning some good money. But eventually, when he looks at the payslip at the end of the month, there is no much to count. And he was like, I'm just waiting to solve problems, to pay bills. And that was not adding up to him. So what he did, he looked at some of the guys that have really made it in life. They have already established industries and they are excelling. Money is working for them. They are no longer working for money anymore. He went to 6 of them, one after the other, one after the other. And eventually, even after dumping now the UN job, that guy is a millionaire today. Because he chose to sat with people that are able to mentor him. Just as Madame puts it, sometimes you may fail, but that is not the end of the story. You don't give up, you try again. Where you at least you have learned something. Yes. You are not as empty as somebody that has never begun. At least there is something that you did, and then you have learned, and therefore you will be scaling a much higher level. When
you seem to have something to add?
Yeah, I'm seeing the place of failure. I think a moment you land into failure, it gives you tips and also a knowledge that these are the mistakes I did, I should not do it again if I have to start. Looking at one man called Abraham Lincoln.
Yes.
From the age of 21st, he started a business. It failed. He started a relationship in 25. It failed. He went to politics in 30. He failed as a senator. He went again as a president. He failed. At 50, he becomes the president of the US. And then we was, as he said, I failed. Failure brought me to become a president. So I think also it's a matter of mindset. I'm failing today, but I should not fail tomorrow because I've learned. We should take it a moment of learning so that it cannot fail again.
Great. Let me probably just, before we wind up, because our time is up, let me probably hit on something about peer pressure. Do you think the circle that you live with really impacts?
Yes.
In the wrong way?
It impacts. We cannot run away from that. Not even the young people, even us. The people around us, they affect our lives, positively or negatively.
Yes.
So we need to make authentic friendships.
All right, from that we call it a wrap, but I want to give each and every one of you 30 seconds for a parting shot. I think we need to begin with you, Mr. Eric.
Wow, thank you so much. KSF is doing some good work, and it's all looking towards how to make better the life that we are in. And when we look at the young people, it's not just about them alone. There needs to be some support from across the board. The parents are involved, the general public are also there, not just to look at a problem happening and you're not doing anything about it. I think there is time we need to review what used to happen a long time ago, so that it's not a child for the parents alone, it's a child for the community. And this, while put together, is able to support. So let everybody take responsibility, and all shall be well.
All right, everybody take responsibility, Madam Judith.
1,
yes,
young people must learn the culture of saving. Save 10 bob from every 100 shillings. It will work in the years to come. 2, the world is a stage. Let's play our part, act very well. When we leave a legacy, however small we are or however young we are.
Haba na haba hujaza kibaba.
Yes.
To the young people outside there, especially them that are in school, 2, one by one, find a passion that you have. Pursue your passion. It will take you places, but don't go alone. Don't walk alone. Have somebody to walk with, people who have walked the same journey. And above all, we welcome you to our event.
Great. That has been great to have you, and I've really learned a lot, of course, from you, and I know even our viewers have really learned a lot. And this is the place to be on from 9th, that is this week, from 9th all the way to 13th. As you have seen, Maze, these guys are loaded with information just for you. They're not only doing spiritual matters, they, of course, they want to engage in terms of your entrepreneurship skills. How can you manage to engage when you were given a seat with great men who have done business? How can you manage to do all this stuff? You can join them, of course, even as we try to do that. Barry is coming still along with the lady who does cakes. Just enough for you. See you.
Wow.